YouTube, what's good? See you later, gaming here, and welcome back to the very first Game Lounge podcast for 2023 in March. Eenaa predicted that we'd do 2 this year. We're on track. We're doing well.
Oh yeah.
As always, rocking with me today is my twin co-host with the most, Eenaa. Can I get an opening statement?
Hello, welcome to our biannual podcast.
We're on trend. This is so us.
I would actually say we've probably done this too early for our biannual podcast.
It's true. We usually start with the game of the year.
That's right.
So
that's true.
We're ahead of schedule. Be glad you got one. 2023 has been a big year for not only us but gaming as well. So we'll get right into what we've been playing. I'm going to kick us off. I've been playing one controversial game, one not so controversial game. I'll start off with the not controversial game in Going Under. I think I mentioned this maybe on like a mini episode of the podcast that we did after on Eenaa's stream. If you watch us live for the, I think it was PlayStation State of Play or the Nintendo Direct. But Going Under is this like little roguelike game where you play as an intern in a corporate business. Very, very funny. I think the dialogue's very well done. It's done by the guys over at Team 17, so the team who do Worms. Nice little breakaway for them, and actually a very, very fun game. I picked it up on the PlayStation Store for I think like $3 at the time. I picked it up because I heard it was an easy plat, but turns out it's actually pretty difficult. I got fooled into that one, but it's a fun game nonetheless. So I've actually been really enjoying it, just for the different tiers. But spoiler free, you are a startup business and you are built on top of other failed startups. So the dungeons are done in a way that it's like crypto bros or dating apps, or this other little startup as well. So very, very well done. Do recommend it. And if you can pick it up on sale, do so. I think it's on PlayStation and I think PC as well. I think on Steam, so good little pickup there. And the other one I've been playing is Hogwarts Legacy, which it's by Avalanche, but you'd swear it was done by Ubisoft for the amount of god-awful collectibles there are in this game.
Oh god, did you platinum this?
I'm going for it, but I'm like, I'm 40 hours in. Thankfully, you need to play through with every house, but you only need to play through for like 2 hours each house. So I've done my Ravenclaw playthrough. The story, I gotta say, is pretty mid. It's woven in with these side characters who you kind of are led to believe they're part of the main story, but they're just side quests, which are mandatory to complete before you can access the main quest.
So I love gatekeeping my main story.
Yeah, so like I think I mention it, or I think it's been publicized on news articles and whatever, that the completion rate for the main story, just based on achievements across PlayStation and Steam, was only 25%, and the game's been out for like a month now. And I get why, because you end up having to play through these pretty awful or pretty repetitive side quests that gatekeep the main story. But apart from that, I think the gameplay is really fluid. Do enjoy the exploration. The collectibles can go right away. Don't like it at all. I think there's 690 collectibles in the game, so making it a bit of a drag, to say the least. But yes, apart from that, it's good. I enjoy it.
Right. It's a pretty light list.
Yeah, I think that's what, once you chuck in like a 40-hour game in there, it just consumes everything.
Yeah, that checks out. Wait, it's only 40 hours?
Well, I'm 40 hours in, and I forecast that I've got another 20 to 30 left. Of cleanup.
That's a lot of cleanup.
It is a lot of cleanup. It's too much. I said to Liggy, I think, she was like, oh, why don't you just put it down and play something else? And I said, because the thing with gamers is we put something down and we'll never pick that up again. So I kind of just want to get it over with and off the shelf and move on to the next thing, because there's a couple of games that are coming out in April that I'm kind of keen on. So I need to clear that backlog a little bit.
Right. Gotcha.
Yes.
I mean, I've been playing many things this month. I've kind of so I'll start with like kind of like the 3 Switch ones that I've been playing, which has been so Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon, Signalis, and Metroid Prime. So what I did was I essentially just played the prologue from all of these because I bought them all at the same time, and just kind of wanted to feel out which one I kind of wanted to play first. And currently I picked Bayonetta out of those for the Switch game. And it's really good. It's really, really similar to kind of like Okami, like a sort of simple Okami. But it's really well done. The presentation's incredibly beautiful. The narration's really good as well. And yeah, I would highly recommend it for people who just kind of like simple sort of puzzle story action games but the complication, like, it's not even really that hard because I'm like pretty good at left brain, right brain stuff. You control Cereza with your left stick and you control the demon Cheshire with your right.
I can see how that's a little bit difficult for like people who aren't used to that style.
Yeah, it's funny. I was playing it with Softlight, and she was like, "How the fuck are you doing 2 of these things at the same time while doing different actions on both of them?" Like, I don't know. I'm just doing it. And then I gave it to her, and she couldn't do it.
Yeah.
She's like, I have to move one than the other. My brain doesn't work like this. I'm like, I don't know.
My girlfriend's the same. She's been playing Breath of the Wild, and I've been sitting on the couch like while she plays, and she doesn't understand. Like, she's getting better at it now, but it's the first game where she's really needed to use 2 joysticks, so like one for movement and one for camera. And just watching her move without moving the camera is like the funniest thing ever, because she'll just be looking down and I'll be like, no, you got to adjust your camera, you got to move up.
Well, see, the camera's fixed. It's just the fact that you have to control 2 separate characters who both can do different actions that broke her brain. But for me, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
So good.
And then I played the... Oh, yeah, go.
Does the art style hold up from what we saw in the trailer?
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
It's good.
Better. Even better. Oh my god, on an OLED Switch, beautiful.
Nice.
S tier. Presentation, 10 out of 10. Amazing.
I like it.
It's probably my favorite looking game this year, to be honest. Like, I'm so invested, dude.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a really awesome game. I think this is going to be a really, really slept on one, and I would not be surprised if this ends up in, honest to God, like a top 3 for me this year.
Yeah, that's a high claim. Big call.
Yep, absolutely. And then I've been playing Signalis, or the prologue for Signalis. Signalis is a Resident Evil classic inspired horror game that's kind of like built in the same way of like the old style ones where it's like fixed camera angles and tank controls. Not full tank controls, but like modernized controls, but with a sort of fixed camera. It's definitely like, it's not going for a super like campy story, kind of like Resident Evil is in a way. It's actually like super dark and serious.
Yeah, looking at the tone now, it's
but yeah, it's really good. The prologue that I've played through so far, so I probably played the prologue probably goes for like about maybe 40 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really good. The environmental detailing, the immersion of it all, and yeah, like kind of already the small little micro puzzles I've done. Even the shooting feels great. So yeah, Signalis, if you're an old sort of action Resident Evil 1 through 3 fan, definitely check out Signalis for sure. It's pretty sick.
And you're playing that on the Switch?
Yep, that's a Switch one.
Yeah, nice.
Runs great.
Yeah?
Runs great, yep.
Yeah, nice.
Would recommend there. And then I played the prologue for Metroid Prime Remastered. So I'm a big fan of Metroid. I never had a chance to play like literally any Metroids, honestly, until I played the latest one that was out on Switch, the 2D one. And then I picked up this because so many people rave about Metroid Prime. And I was like, okay, well now I got to give it a go. And yeah, all right, I get it. It's pretty sick. I played the opening prologue where you're like on the like a spaceship above like the Talon planet. And yeah, played through it, and combat's awesome. The environments are so awesome. It runs at 60 FPS and it looks insane on the Switch.
That's insane that it runs at like true 60.
Oh, it runs at a smooth, buttery 60. The lighting is incredible. The texture work is great. I can't believe it.
A remaster done right.
I know. So strange. I was really expecting it to be like 30, but yeah, no, she's a solid 60 and looks incredible.
Very nice.
Yeah, and controls are great. And yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a first-person shooter on a handheld, definitely check out Metroid Prime. Like, obviously, I haven't really gotten too much into the story because the prologue kind of is just like you go here to hunt down this thing, and then everything goes pear-shaped, and then now you're on a planet, and that's where I've stopped. And the first part of the planet you like crash on is like this beautiful green waterfall luscious area, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. On the Switch. Unbelievable. But yeah, Metroid Prime, it's good. I can't wait to get to play it after I finish Bayonetta. I'll probably do Metroid after Bayo.
Nice.
I've also been playing Pokemon Alpha Sapphire on the 3DS because I was not a Game Boy kid. I was a DS kid. So I never had the privilege of owning a Game Boy. And everybody who grew up in that generation is like, bruh, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, greatest Pokemon games of all time. I'm like, I've never played them. So I'm playing the remake that was on the 3DS.
Nice.
And yep, I actually know all of the mons that are in this because it's so early.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I know this guy. Like,
I'm the same because I played first, second, third, and I think I dropped off at the 4th gen, so I have no clue from that generation onwards, like who's who.
After Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I played red, yellow, diamond, and then I played Ruby.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So that's cool. You know, I guess I can't really compare it to the original because I haven't played it, but I'm like, this sure is a Pokemon game. But it's good. It is good. I like it so far. I think I'm only up to I only just beat like the first gym. I've been kind of like taking my time and just trying to kind of catch everything that's en route.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And I guess this will feed into a topic we'll talk about later on the 3DS. So yeah, we'll come back to that. I've also been playing some Minecraft on stream. It's been just really chill and
vibes,
and super easy to talk with everyone, and just I don't know. It's just like a Zen game. It's just like and I hadn't played it in a long time, so there's so much stuff I'm like
changed.
And oh man, I'm in a caves. There's like cave systems like now that are like real.
Yeah,
it's like massive. It just keeps going and going, and I'm just like, dude, good thing I have a geography brain. Like otherwise, how do people not get lost?
Literally,
yeah. I feel like my muscle memory run me back through the caves because I think I'm now probably like, if I run down there, I'm like a 15-minute run to where I was at and then run back, and I've got to remember that whole path.
It's nuts. I saw like I forget if it was a TikTok or Reel the other day where it was like Minecraft 1.8 kids jumping into Minecraft today and like having no clue what the hell's going on, just like looking around, seeing everything that's changed.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah,
but really cool. And yeah, way better.
Very nice.
And then, I mean, this is the big one, right?
Yeah.
Diablo 4 beta. Your boy has played it. I played so I've already pre-ordered the game, so I got to play the first open beta week.
Yep.
Week, and I played the Sorcerer.
Ooh.
and good. It's I'm it's very good. Like it's I like it a lot.
Convinced.
I'm look this just like as an actual like Diablo and ARPG fan, I'm a little concerned about some things, but game feel, world building, like character aesthetics, world aesthetics, incredible. Like truly S tier. Gameplay also still feels like really sharp and responsive like 3, but I'm a little concerned for how deep the combat's going to go in terms of skills. I'm a little concerned because I like looked at the tree when I first started. I was like, oh yeah, that looks like a little maybe more complex than 3. And then as I was playing it more, I was like, it's not. I think it's actually more simple than 3. They've just made it look more complicated by putting it on a tree.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm interested to see how Endgame works, where they have these things called Paragon boards, which are like huge boards full of nodes. And I'm wondering if that's truly where our abilities, our character has kind of evolved.
Flesh out a little bit more.
Go even bigger. So that's been my only concern. Other than that, awesome, amazing. I would have recommended it to anyone. It's and the story this time, it's fucking sweet, dude.
Yeah.
Lilith is the villain, amazing. Whoever her VA is, S tier work. Mummy Lilith, dude. Oh my god.
Up for a what's the award called? Blanking, but like the voice actor of the year.
Oh yeah, voice actor of the year. Yeah. Yeah, bro, she's sinister in like the most charismatic way possible. Like I don't think I've been so interested in a villain since like Handsome Jack and Borderlands 2, to be honest.
Nice.
So
that's a good comparison.
Like she's not the same in that way, but like in terms of
just like depth and yeah,
like depth and like truly is a bastard. Like yeah, it's yeah, man, it's good. I'm really looking forward to losing my entire life and playing Diablo 4 until Starfield comes out. So that's like 2 more months away, essentially. So, yeah, Diablo 4, it was good. It was really good. They got a lot of balance issues to get right still, but yeah.
That's, I mean, plenty of time still to, I guess, fix that up before official launch. Do they have another open weekend before launch, or is it all closed off now?
Not that they've announced.
I reckon surely they do another one, right?
Maybe, but they've said that this is actually like a real beta and not just like a hey, try the game, we'll call it a beta thing. Because I guess they have 2 months now to like run millions and millions of players worth of data through Excel spreadsheets. So, but yeah, that is what I have been playing this month.
Very nice. A very well-rounded list. I like it. Cool. Jumping into the official news for the month, we'll first look at the upcoming major game releases for April. So pretty stacked month, actually. We've got, starting off with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Dead Island 2, Minecraft Legends, Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, which is the new VR game, and The Lost Case of Benedict Fox. I chucked Lost Case of Benedict Fox in there just because it's one that we'd seen from the Nintendo Direct, I think it was. So, and I think that we were both pretty intrigued by that one. But this list, I think, has got a couple of decent games on here. Eenaa, we'll start off with you. What are you keen on?
Dead Island 2, baby.
Dead Island 2. After the long... Was it you who said to Fraser or someone ages ago that it was never going to come out? And it's like such a big, like, fuck you moment now.
Yeah, well, that's because it has been in development hell for like 9 years. So, of course, I was just memeing the entire time being like, yeah, that game's not ever coming out. Like, yeah, I mean... I watched a Skill Up do a preview of this. He got to play it for a bit, and he played it, I think he said, for around about 5 hours or so.
It's decent.
And apparently in the first 2, he was like, this is like kind of ass and like kind of like an old game. But then by the 5th hour, he's just like, I love how simple it is. And he's like, all these systems, are they good? He's like, are they great? He's like, no, Are they functional? Yes. And when you put them all together, what do you get? He's like, just a cathartic, chill, kind of like old style game, just about crushing zombies. And I'm like, to me, I'm like, perfect.
I feel like that's what you'd expect from a game that's like trailer launched 9 years ago, though. Like they've gone too deep to refine anything, so they're just like, you know what? We'll just run with what we had.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of down for just like a B tier, like old school kind of just dumb fun. Like this is like there's
like
another
a Dead
podcast.
Rising.
Well, it's just like Dead Island 2 just looks like a video game ass video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like
just nothing special, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just like such a video game. Like it is like what you would expect the medium to be, and I don't know, kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, nice.
Other than that, I'm not even really excited for the Star Wars game, to be honest. It's not really. Yeah, it's not. Like I played the first one for a little bit, and I was like, hey.
Yeah,
I think I'm just like really off Star Wars. Like I feel like the oversaturation. Like anytime something becomes so oversaturated, I become even less interested in it. It was like when everybody was talking about the Last of Us TV show. I was just hearing so much that my brain just switched off. I was just like, nah, I don't want to. I don't care anymore.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I still haven't watched the Last of Us TV show, which I've been meaning to. But also, yeah, with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, I'm keen on the game, but I get what you mean about it being, like, so diluted now. Like, I'm not caught up on any of the TV shows or anything like that. I'm just feel like it's like Marvel. There's just another movie every 6 months, and they're like, do you want to understand the plot line for when this major movie comes out? And you're kind of like, oh yeah, do I have to watch, like, 20 movies to get there? Like, that's what Star Wars is. It's not becoming, it is. It's like,
yes,
yeah, it's like you gotta watch Willow, you gotta watch Mandalorian, you gotta watch Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and they're just like not great stories either.
Apparently, see, this is how bad it is. Apparently, the last TV show they did for Star Wars, like
Andor, yeah,
apparently that was really good.
Like him as a character. Haven't watched the show just because I'm kind of like, again, off the whole.
That's what I mean.
Dilution of it.
People like, this is insanely good compared to all the other ones. So I'm like, I'm still so just burnt out and overflooded with Star Wars. I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, I feel like from this list, then it would only be maybe like 1 or 2. Star Wars Jedi, I think Survivor will be 1 for me. Dead Island 2, I'll sit on. Minecraft Legends, I think, will be the same. Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores, I'm keen on, but I also don't have the PSVR 2 headset, so there's no way for me to play that.
Brother, Burning Shores is the single-player expansion.
Yeah, so it's
why do you need the VR headset?
Well, that's the thing. It's like
it's full of the mountain.
I fucking goofed it. Oh. God, cut that. Cut that.
Single player.
Oh, well, I just sold my game recently, so that's a no-go then. That's a double whiff. Oh my god. So, Last Case of Benedict Fox actually looks alright, eh?
I'm dead.
God. Alright. Well, we might move along from that one just to keep off it. I think Diablo 4 we've kind of mentioned with your little spiel about what you've been playing, so we might go just for quickly to the next topic. FaZe, at risk of being taken off Nasdaq. I don't know what their stock's trading at the moment, but
let me tell you.
I think it would be like,
I'll go look it up for you.
It's definitely under the $1 mark.
It's 0.67 of a US dollar.
So, for those of you without context, FaZe is a major esports organization. They went public on Nasdaq, which is like the New York Stock Exchange, I think mid to late last year. And ever since they had their meme moment where they skyrocketed, they've just plummeted back down to earth at like 60 cents. And if they continue to trade at under $1 for 6 months, they get taken off basically, and they'll go back to being a privately held company. But
Perfect.
yeah, I mean, how do we feel about this? I think it's kind of bittersweet. One, I think it sucks just because of the like gaming industry side of things, but on the other side of things, I look at it and I've looked at like who's running it, and it's not gamers, it's just corporate bigwigs who think they know how to run an esports organization, and you're kind of like, eh? Like I'm twofold on it. Like how do you kind of feel on it?
I don't particularly care.
That's fair.
I don't know if a I just don't like gaming organizations don't even make money anyway, especially on esports. They don't.
No.
They run in red, like Netflix and everything else. They run red, but even more so in red. And I don't know. I don't think it's advisable to go on a stock market if you're just you just run red, which is why I guess like a lot of the other big ones haven't, because what's the point? Like you're better off just doing the classic like raising capital like they all do privately.
Yeah, it seems to be the best method. But we'll keep you updated with this story as it happens.
FaZe up.
Yeah, FaZe stock down. Unbelievable. Next up, we've got CSGO breaking Steam records amid the Counter-Strike 2 reveal. I haven't jumped on to play anything CSGO in a long time, but I watched the new reveal trailer for CSGO 2 and the new maps that are being redone and the map builder, and a little bit on the ray tracing and everything. And the maps look gorgeous from what they compared Dust from the Source engine versus CSGO 2. And man, the progression from that is wild.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bump.
Yeah, it's I didn't actually see what the actual numbers were for
1.5 million.
1.5 million concurrent. That's insane.
I think that's what the last number was. It's either 1.3 or 1.5 million.
Yeah. So it's now in the number 2 spot all time. Which is crazy. The highest being this record placed number 2, just ahead of Lost Ark, but behind PUBG's colossal 3.2 mil.
Oh Jesus! I don't think that's getting beaten anytime soon.
Yeah, I think that's gonna hold on to the record, but still 1.5 is
That's in normal CS:GO. It'll be interesting to see what happens when CS2 is actually out.
Yeah. So it's I think I've seen a couple of tweets floating around of people saying that other games like Valorant are gonna die off as soon as CS:GO comes out, but I think it's good for competition. Personally, just to have two different games like in that same style of game in the space. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously competition is good. It pushes everyone to, make a better product. But it definitely won't cannibalize Valorant.
No.
And for the fundamental reason it is it's just Counter-Strike with a 2 on the end. Don't get me wrong, as also someone who played too much CS:GO.
Yes.
Volumetric smokes, cool. Better lighting, new revamped maps, cool. But beyond, a few gameplay elements changing, sort of. It's still Counter-Strike. I don't it'll have a resurgence for sure, but I think it's going to simmer down pretty quick.
Yeah.
When people are it's still Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And if you're already still not wanting to play Counter-Strike, you probably won't play it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have that big moment at launch where you've got your pros putting out different videos of smoke locations and wall bangs and that sort of thing. But yeah, as you say, fundamentally it's still going to be the same game with a bit of a facelift. And yeah, I think Val and CS:GO or CS:GO 2 are just going to be two different games in a sense. Like they'll each have their own landscape to play across.
Oh, well, one's way more like ability focused,
Yeah,
and the other is pure gunplay. So,
yeah, and that's where Valorant's appeal will lie for some people. Just depends what your play style is, I guess.
well, I feel like most of those communities have already like split like the difference anyway.
Mm.
Like, I feel like they're pretty much already in their camps that they want to be in.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, moving on to some Microsoft Sony news. So it's been a bit of back and forth here with PlayStation still trying to block that Activision deal going through, especially on the grounds of, I think, Call of Duty being the main talking point, and Microsoft saying that they can have it for 10 years guaranteed. Yeah, it's a weird talking point. They're saying that they can have it for 10 years because it'll allow Sony to then come up with a competitor. Microsoft have also made a deal with Nintendo saying that, they can have that on the grounds that it'll work on the Switch. But I think the SEC found that Call of Duty won't run properly on the Switch, which is a weird take unless there's a new Nintendo Switch coming out.
It's essentially like, but the response I think from Microsoft was like, yeah, but we've gotten games running on multiple things of hardware before, so there's no reason why it couldn't run on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which essentially means we're going to stream it until the new one's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Sony though.
No, it definitely looks like it's going to go ahead.
I was reading an article where I forgot they went to another like government like organization body to like essentially be like, boohoo, Sony's taking my Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because I'm pretty sure like the panel or whoever they were talking to were like, hold on a minute, you guys have a 98% monopoly in Japan. How have your regulators failed in making sure you do not have a monopoly in a singular country? And then they were like, started just sweating profusely. Like, it's because it's manufactured there. And it's just like, nope, your regulators have also haven't stopped you from becoming a monopoly. Like, so in that regard, you're like, this is not a monopoly at all.
Totally.
So it's looking bad, and they probably shouldn't have gone and cried wolf to whoever the fuck they went to be like, my Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But also Crying Jim is really out here saying, I don't want a Call of Duty deal. I just want to block your merger.
Basically, yeah.
Wow, what a giga chad.
We can't have Call of Duty on the PlayStation if we just keep blocking the deal. It's like the dude with the stick in the bicycle being like, hey, what you done?
Like, it's smart on Sony's behalf. They don't have to sign a 10-year deal because if Xbox were to say get it and then they didn't sign a 10-year deal, they have to put it on the console anyway. Otherwise, they can go to regulators and be like, look, they didn't put it on our console.
Yeah.
So, yeah, either way, like, but yeah, bro, just classic crying Jim. Just, I don't want a new deal. I just want to block your merger.
He's trying his best.
Wow.
Tooth and nail.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it is his job.
Exactly. On the same vein of the Microsoft information, we've got Microsoft putting an end to their $1 Xbox Game Pass Ultimate trial, which, I mean, that deal has been around since the beginning of that Xbox Game Pass on PC. And it's, for those of you who didn't do it, shame on you, because it's a phenomenal deal. Because I think it was $1 for 3 months, so it would be like $3 for 3 months. But I think we've mentioned on this podcast multiple times the value of the Game Pass and reasons you should have it. But yeah. I think it's in relation to it's going up to $15 a month. $15 for Ultimate and $9 for Standard. But yeah, I think it's just sign of the times as well with inflation and needing to provide extra value, because it's easy to rort that trial essentially of just continually paying $1 a month for 3 months.
I personally think it's more like, so yeah, like inflation is a thing that exists. I think they've probably hit a metric where like there's a certain like milestone they've hit where they go, okay, we believe enough people already know about Game Pass and its value, and now we're just going to stop it because we know people know the value based on, I don't know, maybe some number that they have on the back end that they're like, okay, like
this many users who tried it, sort of thing. Yeah.
And maybe it's like a retention rate thing of to see how many of those $1 people stayed on to pay the normal $15, and they were like, okay, yep, we've got like enough, like we've got like an install base enough to make a big profit each year. So
enough to justify the means.
Yeah.
And
or they probably feel like maybe on their consoles there's enough marketing for it anyway. So
totally. And I guess if you consider the fact that if people only did the trial, then it's not enough to support the devs who are actually putting out the content for that library as well, which is probably something that I'd have to consider. Insane. Moving on to the next piece of news. I think you might have seen this one, Eenaa. But former Grand Theft Auto producer is teasing a brand new project, a futuristic game within a game called MindsEye. I watched the teaser for this one, and I feel like it's right up your alley. It looks very cyberpunk in terms of the trailer look and feel. Yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on this one. If you'd seen it, if you haven't, if you like the look of it, etc.
So, is it a single player game?
That's what it's looking to be, from the sounds of it. It's a third-person, story-driven action game. So very like GTA in that sense. Makes sense coming from their producer. But yeah,
it's like GTA means cyberpunk.
Yeah,
that's so weird looking.
Like it was announced, I think, in 2017 originally. But now we've got an actual teaser trailer for it. Very quick video. I think it's like 26 seconds. But
there's like a spot at like around like 13 to 15 seconds where there's a car drifting a corner and it just looks like GTA 5.
Yeah, literally. It's probably like same mechanics. And I mean, out of that 30-second video, I think like 10-15 seconds of that is logos, so not a whole lot to go off. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this one goes.
Yeah, it sure will be interesting. Yeah, I mean, cool. I think GTA's had too much of a monopolistic run of third person open world kind of action games. So I think it's good. The more competition in that field, the better, to be honest.
Agreed. Do you want to take this next topic?
Yeah. So, oh man, now this is the saddest news. Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda has stepped down. Now, you may remember this man as not only 2 years ago being like on New Year's Day, putting out a message being like, "Hello gamers, NFTs, we're doing them," and everyone, "Fuck you, Square Enix."
His most famous move.
That's right. And then they were like, and he was like, "Well, fuck you too. I'm still doing it." And then he did it, and Square Enix had a horrible year. And then last year, New Year's Day, he said, "Fuck it, I'm doubling down." And he talked about NFTs again. He's like, "I hope you enjoy our new Symbiosis game, which is going to have 110,000 characters in it, all NFTs, baby."
New Year's, same me.
That's right. And then Forspoken launched, and then tanked the company so hard that he had to step down as the head. And then those developers, Luminous Productions, has now been disbanded by Square Enix proper, and has now been absorbed those people back into other studios because So this team, Luminous Productions, was also the crew that made Final Fantasy 15. So the boy band one, which was very divisive for sure. Yeah, so you would think this is good news that NFT man is stepping down, but apparently another NFT bro is stepping into his place.
Fantastic.
So Square Enix are in fact, I think, doubling down more now with their hire process.
Fool me once.
That's right. I'm looking forward to next New Year's, and I want to be reading about NFTs again. I'm looking forward to it.
God.
But yeah, our NFT bro, Yosuke Matsuda. I hope you saved a few JPEGs on the way out, my guy.
It turns out his career was in fact fungible. Yes, got an NFT joke in.
Perfect. Our no fucking thanks segment is done.
Love it. Not gaming news per se, but gaming adjacent. We've got the Mario movie coming out in, I think, less than 2-3 weeks time. I think it comes out early April.
Yes, April 4th.
April 4th. What do we think? How are we feeling about this movie? Have you bought release tickets?
Well, it's funny you mentioned this. I was so Soft Light's been up for like a couple of days before she headed back down today. And she was like, we'll do date night and I'm gonna take you to see the Mario film. And I haven't really been paying attention to anything. And clearly neither had she, because she like arrived at my work and then was just like, I'm so sorry, it doesn't release until the 4th of April.
Oh no.
I was just like, okay. And she's like, no, I really wanted to go to the film. So I'm like, well. So I was going to go watch it. But yeah, it'll be
just a little bit later than planned.
It'll be fine to good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Liggy said on the weekend, she goes, you know, I love going to the movies and we haven't gone to anything recently. And I was like, well, have I got one for you? Just give it another 2 weeks time and we've got something locked in.
Oh my God.
So
like anything besides video game films.
Well, it's actually, if you've seen a picture of her, you'll know it's her big screen debut.
Oh.
She's a Toad lookalike, according to our friends.
Oh my God.
So,
for
people listening to the podcast, just imagine Toad. Pull up a picture and you'll get a good visual.
So the female Toad.
Basically, Toadette.
Yeah, nice.
Sorry. If I get called out for that one, I'm definitely going to get a
Hey man, you're the one dating her, bro.
This is true. Okay, so in Nintendo news, I guess adjacent to the Mario movie, and this will be a sad news for Eenaa. We've got the Nintendo Wii U and 3DS eShops shutting down. And I think it's today, actually.
It is.
So... Big Sag.
Big 07s in the comments.
Some Sag in chat. What do we feel? I guess for you, because this question's pretty pertinent for you as like someone in the video game. I keep going to say restoration, but it's not restoration. It's preservation and collection space. How do you feel as someone who collects games, and I guess especially now in a time when maybe not Wii U but 3DS collection is kind of booming?
Well, it's booming for this reason. That's why like everything has skyrocketed so high, as when Nintendo announced this ages ago. It's fucking horrible, because I shout out to the completionist Jared. He did this insane video where he purchased every single game for the 3DS and the Wii U. And I was like, oh, there must be like a real reason why they're shutting it down, right? Like it must be too much space on servers or something like that. No, these MFers, it's like 200 gigs for like the 3DS store. I think,
That's
or maybe even the
nothing.
Wii U or like whatever. But anyway, they were both just in the hundreds of gigs. Lamau, I've got an 8 terabyte hard drive
That's
in my
hilarious.
computer that could hold all of those
Yeah,
with
because they
way
compress
more
them on the
footage.
server and then they just unpack the package once it's on the actual device.
Yeah, it's just no, it's just bullshit. I think it's for a console, especially the 3DS, right?
Mm.
Like if I type in 3DS games, uh, first party releases. But what year do you think was the last released 3DS game?
3DS?
Yeah, tell me the last year you think it was one game was made for it,
I
like an
reckon,
actual first party one.
man, I've lost all track of dates and time. But I'm gonna say like 2017, 18.
2019
Okay,
with
I was pretty
Mario and
close.
Luigi, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, and Yokai Watch 3.
That's crazy because that's a first party game too, so it's not even that long.
No, it's not even that old.
No, it's like 4 years. I mean, realistically, 3 years because we're in still the early parts of 2023. But
Mm,
man,
yeah. No, it sucks. And it also sucks for collecting too, for
yeah,
like physical media collection of both Wii U and 3DS stuff, because it just means now these games have price have been artificially inflated by the
yeah,
fact that there is no other means of acquiring them. Um, so it's bad. It's horrible for video game preservation when companies decide to shut down services. And I mean, you're gonna have to be as our resident Sony man.
yeah.
You're gonna have to be dealing with this soon too when Vita and PS3 go offline.
Well, Vita's already offline.
So that's
Vita's
right. So
gone.
Vita went, and then three
I,
they delayed. Is that
yeah,
correct?
three they've delayed. I think. I don't know. I haven't booted up my three in a long time. But yeah, it's gonna be the same case too. Like especially, I mean, good luck finding a PlayStation 3 game anywhere that isn't Facebook Marketplace or eBay at the moment. Like, you'd expect to be able to walk into like an op shop or cash converters and find a PS3 game. It's all PS4, all PS4, all PS5. You don't find anything older than that. If you do, you're lucky.
Right.
Like,
Um. By the way, because I remember like I was very confused when you were like, I think Vita's already closed. I see, because I thought they backtracked on that decision, and
oh,
now I'm looking at an article that says, it's digital storefront. Sony backtracked on this decision to close the PS3 and Vita stores in 2021.
oh.
But
So they're
it
still
looks like
live?
Sony has limited purchasing options for PS3 and
That's right.
Vita. Yeah.
Yes, that's what happened. So I think they had some titles that were still available, and they still had the option for you to go into the store and download ones that you'd already purchased.
Yeah.
So as a way of still retrieving them and not gatekeeping.
So I think you can do the same with Wii U and 3DS. You can retrieve what you've
Okay.
purchased, I believe.
Well, that's
Um,
so stupid then, because it's still like they're still being stored.
that is correct.
That makes
Thank you,
that makes even
Nintendo.
less sense. Like
That's
why host them just for the sake of downloading when you could actually make a little bit of money off it? Just pay
yes.
for the server costs. Even if you get a couple of dollars a week of people buying like a game or two, you're still making enough money to keep the 200 gig of
Data.
storage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
God.
Yeah. So look, it's a horrible decision for game preservation. And the thing is though, it's like with that completionist and Jared video,
Yes.
when he was going and buying all those games too, games were disappearing off the digital storefront anyway. Like they were being
So they
taken
were doing
down
it
because
quick.
they weren't they weren't renewing their license for a couple of months.
That
Like
makes
why would you
sense.
bother? So they were
Yeah.
taking them off the store. So, and the cool thing is though, with that at least, is that Jared is donating those DS and Wii U and all the data that is on external hard drives to the Video Game Preservation Foundation. So
Oh, that's awesome.
at least it's somewhere.
Yeah.
So like, but still, like the man I think spent like $27,000 or something.
That's insane. But that's also a very wholesome story to donate all of that info and data.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very cool.
But yeah, not happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's actually March 28th that it closes, I believe. So I don't know if you're randomly hearing this, or if you're in chat, and you do have a 3DS and you want to pick up stuff, like rare things, anything Atlas. That'll be my blanket statement for anybody watching this. Anything Atlas or Ace Attorney cross with Professor Layton. Anything of those, all going to be disgustingly expensive physically. They already are. Like most Atlas games, you will not find under about $140 Australian.
Insane.
So yeah, definitely check out those if you are interested in preserving your own physical collection, because those will be super hard to come by.
Nutso pieces. Yeah, definitely. On a bit of a lighter note, as to distract Eenaa from being sad boy, Epic will share 40% of item shop revenue with Fortnite Island creators, saying that there's no need to design cunning monetization loops anymore. So new game maker tool for Fortnite.
Yeah, have you seen this?
No, this is a new piece of information. Is this part of their new Fortnite update that they're dropping?
So now you can make games inside of Fortnite. So essentially, they're just bringing Unreal Engine, which exists, into Fortnite, which uses Unreal Engine. They're just like, how about you just make games inside Fortnite and we'll give you 40%.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Because yeah, most of the maps I think had been like free downloads or like things to play. So I mean, the monetization side of thing is always good for creators, because for the most part they just do it for, well, publicity to a degree and promoting themselves and their technical ability to try and get into the industry. So I mean, it's always good to see that they can introduce some method for these creators to make some form of revenue from it. Yeah, I think only good things can come from that, and happy to see that Epic are now being a bit more, I don't know, I feel like Epic have done a decent job recently at trying to do better for the community in terms of revenue sharing and as far as that goes.
How about hear me out?
Oh, here we go.
Give him 50, you son of a bitch. What do you mean? They made the thing. You're just like, yoink.
Yeah.
Bro, you get 60 for doing nothing? Come on.
I mean, Epic is also the company that literally ripped their game off the App Store just so that they could make more profits.
That's true.
Like, no 13-year-old children, you aren't allowed to play. We want more money from you, because Apple are being greedy.
Please, my chat has already given you too much money through cosmetics, Tim. You don't need more.
This is true. Well, I think that's a good place to end it for our March news segment for the Game Large podcast. Before we wrap up, we will throw it back to Eenaa just to see if there's any closing statements, promotions, whatever that you want to talk about.
Play Bayonetta Origins. Do it, you cowards.
Bayonetta Origins. That's a good call out. I think that's a nice one. Well, I will definitely not be playing Horizon West Burning Shores or Call of the Mountain. But, you know, might be down for some Diablo 4 when that drops. So we'll see how we go. But thank you so much for tuning in. As always, you can catch us on, where are we? We're on Amazon Podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on Apple.
Shout out Stitcher.
You know, shout out. They've been supporting us since day one. Well, we've been supporting them, but we're keeping their user base and podcast service alive. So, you know, shout out to them. Appreciate them for all that they do. But
God bless.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.